came from the factory like that, by the way. Bolt was also hand tight. Alrighty, hello everyone. Tay here at the shop, and we all got in early this morning for some reason, but Walker, Aaron, and I all showed up today around the 7:30. I couldn't sleep, that was my reasoning. But something arrived in the mail yesterday that has prompted me to give our Ellis bandsaw a little bit of attention, a little bit of a cleanup, a little bit of maintenance, and to add a really cool piece of modification. A very generous and seemingly talented gentleman named Adam from Biltwell Iron Company reached out a while ago and asked if I wanted to test out one of his Ellis bandsaw hydraulic knob relocation kits. Let's see, what does he call it? The speed valve. This is the speed valve. So what this is supposed to do is relocate this guy, well, do away with this, and then relocate this control to up here. And it gives you the same speed adjustment, but you also get a kill switch. So you can turn off the hydraulics and turn them back on. And when you turn them back on, it falls at the rate set by the knob. So it's actually a really cool piece of kit. He comes with lines so you can relocate everything, and some fittings so you can adapt it into your cylinder. So all that I really have to do is clamp this on here, punch my holes, tap some 1/4-20 screws, screw that on, route the hoses, fill it up with hydraulic fluid, and it's done. So when Aaron's done making some noise, I will update you guys further on the status of the saw and everything else. So as you may recall, I had some issues with this saw when we first got it, and they were related to the motor. I was having this weird pulsing on startup problem with these motors. This is the second motor that's been on the saw. This is the one that Ellis sent me in as a replacement. And it is not the Leeson motor that is pictured on the website. It is some offshore equivalent, cheaper motor. And this one had the same problem that the first one had, where when I turned it on, initially it would pulse. It would wow, 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 wow. And then it would go. Miraculously, it seems to have fixed itself. So that's why this motor's still on here, because the problem just went away after doing nothing. And I still run the saw on an extension cord. Get a lot of crap for that. Ellis themselves said that could be the problem, not the problem. It works fine now. Before this motor started working properly, I actually looked up what kind of motor it was and ordered a replacement from eBay. This is a WEG brand motor, and I figured out how to look up motors. You look it up by the frame. So this is a D56, where if you come over here, you see frame 56. So that informs you how the motor gets mounted and like the mounting plate situation. So if everything I read on the internet is true, which you know it always is, that motor, which was an agricultural takeoff of something, should spin at the same speed and mount the exact same way and have the same diameter shaft and take the same voltage and be the same in every measurable way as that motor. WEG, I believe, it's not a built in the US motor either, but I've had a WEG motor on my air compressor now for 2 years and it's been working great. So I don't know if I'm gonna install that motor right now, but I just wanted to update you guys on the motor situation, and I do have now a spare that I got for $175 on eBay, whereas the Leeson was like $400 or $500. Ellis, I get it. I get that you were trying to save some money, and I realized that that was a way to do it. But it doesn't seem like I'm the only one that had issues with these offshore motors. Whatever, I will let it rest now. Enough complaining about the motor. It runs fine, and if it stops working, I have a replacement. So buyer beware on that, on the new Ellis saws, but everything else about the saw I love, except for this cammed vise, which is kind of a cool idea, but I think I'd rather have just a screw vise. But anyway, this speed valve from Biltwell Iron Company is a really cool idea to make this saw much more user-friendly. So instead of standing here and reaching all the way back here to change the valve, and much like a television set from the 70s, The speed valve and the on-off is done by the same thing. So you crack it to open it, and then you keep opening it to change the speed, and to turn it off, you have to go all the way back over your settings to shut it off. So you're guessing each time, and you're hoping that you get, if you're doing a bunch of cuts, you're hoping that you get the valve in the same place every time, which is hard to do. So this thing will allow you to set your feed and then just turn it on and off. So you can activate and deactivate the hydraulics without ever changing your speed setting, which is very clever. And this is a really cool looking piece of kit. Machined block of aluminum with some hydraulic fittings and whatnot. So I believe it's meant to mount just like that. So you get the switch and the knob. So I will be following Adam's instructions here to set it up. And then once it's installed, I'll show you guys how it works. Let's give the Ellis some attention. To Ellis's credit, despite the location of this valve, it is nice. I mean, it's a I believe it's a Parker, yeah, Parker valve. It's a high quality valve, it's just far away and it's really small, so the tactile experience is not fantastic. Curious how they got this on here in the first place. So got that off. Gonna take these fittings off. Oh, and there it goes. Catching all the fluid in the chip pan. So that's nice. Remove the existing Parker needle valve from your cylinder. You can do this by loosening all the way the nuts holding the plastic tube. Then before attempting to remove the tube, use a wrench to turn the needle valve loose. Once you've done this, you can remove the tube, then proceed to removing the needle valve and remaining fittings. You will lose most of your fluid, so please be sure to have some replacement ready. I don't, but I'll go get some. Bag of parts that came with it, Builtwell sticker. These are the fittings. Push connect fittings. So these replace those brass fittings that I just removed. So they're plastic here and metal here, so no need to overdo it. 7/16 wrench, put these fittings in. So it's my understanding that, we're gonna have to route hydraulic lines from here up to here. This little cable chase comes off. So this is where we're going to run our lines through here. So we're gonna have both of our fittings facing up. Oh, so they swivel, so don't need to tighten it very much. I guess it doesn't really matter about the orientation because these can change. That's nice. Seems pretty good. I'm not gonna go much further than that. Comes with thread sealant on the fittings. So I'm really just trying to get to the thread sealant. Is more than likely a tapered pipe thread situation, so I don't want to overdo it. So now I'm going to take this cable chase off. So what I'm going to do is where this one's closed off right here, just gonna cut this tab off so that the hoses can stick out the ends. I think the next thing I'm gonna do though is mount the actual switch, and then we will have both ends established and then we can connect all the dots. Also notice that the nut on the cylinder here is, well, it's all hand tight. A lot of hand tight fasteners on this saw from factory, which is kind of annoying. So that's where I want that to live. I don't have any transfer punches the right size, but I do have a drill bit, so I'm just going to make a little hole, which will mark where my fasteners go. 13/64 drill bit and drill all the way through. The only thing on the other side of this is the blade, and you don't want to hit that. But I'm gonna drill through this now with a 13/64 drill and then tap it for 1/4 20. That drill bit is ruined. That is exceedingly frustrating. There's nothing right behind this hole, so. Okay, there's that one. There is a wheel behind this one, so I'm gonna be very careful when I pop through. And through the bar, I believe. All right, so I'm through there. Now I'm gonna tap it. That's what the other side looks like, by the way. Holes are probably a little big. The 13/64 bit is probably the right one, but I think this will be fine. I think that's deep enough because there's only so much of the bolt that sticks past. Yeah, 13/64 is probably a better size hole, but this will be fine. Okie dokie. Get this warning sticker off. Now I'll go get some Allen keys and screw the valve on. All right, that is mounted there, and I super love that. That is an amazing, clean installation. It feels like it's meant to be. It's very rock solid, and it's in a great spot. So now all I gotta do is modify this shroud, run my cables, and then fill my system back up with hydraulic fluid, which I don't have. So I'll have to go get some, but we're close. So now I'm going to route the hoses. No, I couldn't have chosen a noisier morning to film all this. It's not your fault. So I've got my hoses inserted, and they are going to route up here. Very clever design. I like when people think. There's evidence of critical thought. We're there. So we've got our lines back to our cylinder. Connect the top fitting of the cylinder to the 45-degree push connector at the back, and the other one to the other one. So it's important to know which one is which, which is somewhat unfortunate because it's not going to be super easy. That's the 45. So this one goes to the top of the cylinder. Do some side cutters. Seems good. Push that into that 90 and give it a little pull. So that's everything. I want to make sure we still have full range of motion. Yes. Everything moves freely. That's good. Everything's routed back here. It lives back in there, runs through here, and then down to the valves. Last note is remove the fill plug from your cylinder with the bow all the way down. Ensure your needle valve and toggle valve are set in the open position. Fill the cylinder with general purpose hydraulic fluid until full. Replace the plug hand tight and lift the bow. Set it down several times to cycle the fluid. Set the bow again, remove the plug, fill until full again, replace, and so on. So we just got to bleed the system now and we're done. So I'm going to clean up, tighten some things up, double check everything, and then go get some hydraulic fluid, and then we are ready to test this sweet bandsaw accessory. I will keep all of this in case I need to revert it back to factory, but hopefully I'm never inclined to do that. Slurping. Okay, let me cycle it once or twice. On which direction? Oh, it's gonna be so cool. Oh, that's badass.
It's definitely a very well considered solution.
Someone who's spent a lot of time at the saw. Shout out to Adam over at Biltwell Iron for sending this over.
Oh, yeah.
It's really nice to work with something that is just well thought out. Like, it's built by somebody who would interact with it every day.
Immediately my favorite Adam.
Yeah. That's so cool. I didn't know they made hydraulic toggle switches. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
That is such a cool thing. That's awesome. Wow. So the features of this, the two main positives of this that I see is that you're standing here anyway. Reaching back here is such a pain in the butt.
I would have to stand over and have one hand like kind of setting things up, and
yeah,
it can be.
And every time you, like an old television, to turn it on, you also then have to turn the volume up. So it's two actions in one nod. So this, you can set the feed rate that you like and then never touch it again. On, off. Way cool. I think, because I earned a Biltwell sticker. Just the logo, give them a follow, subscribe, whatever their channels are.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Perfect.
It's official. Boink. How lovely. The instructions were thorough and easy to understand. He bothers to mention at the bottom, if you have any issues with the install or operation, please feel free to reach out to Adam at biltwellironco.com. At this time, Biltwell Iron Co. LLC is not issuing any refunds, but if there's a defect or failure in any of the components, we will happily send you a replacement. And currently they offer a 1-year warranty on machined parts and a 90-day warranty on all other provided components. The warranty is excluded from improper use or install or normal wear conditions. But that's awesome. Yep. They stand by their product. Please remember to share and post on social media. That's us doing that right now.
Got it.
So go check them out. Everything feels really nice, and I'm excited to have that on the saw.
Yeah, that looks like a solid block.
I mean, it's just a nice feeling thing. This is like some made in Italy, like hydraulic needle valve.
Ooh, premium.
Just very nice.
Oh, that switch feels nice too.
Hydraulic switch, something I did not know existed. So you can adjust the speed
Wow.
with that. Really fine.
That's really slow. Yeah.
And then stop it. So you can, basically how you would use this is pick it up, lock it off, insert your metal, clamp it, and then you can give it a push to get it close. You know, stop, double check once the blade is close to your mark, and then turn the saw on. So I don't have it plugged in. Turn the saw on, and then flip it and walk away, and the saw will cut by itself.
That's
you can
so cool.
speed it up. Very, very nice. Thanks for watching. Obviously, the Ellis is in better form than it's ever been. The motor seems to be working fine, and now it's been improved with some Biltwell iron accessories. So overall, happy with the saw. A lot of you have been asking what the status is after all of our motor issues and all that. I explained at the beginning of this video sort of where I'm at, and that I have yet to install my eBay replacement, but it's waiting in the wings in case I do have a motor failure.
Which in this case,
I had to pay for that,
Yeah.
by the way. I had to pay full price for this saw, by the way. Ellis did not send me this saw, so I'm allowed to bitch and complain all I want. No, but it's fine. Onward and upward. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The channel's growing. Thank you for the support. Check out our custom shelf brackets. Join our Patreon. Shout out to all of our amazing patrons who support us that way. They get ad-free content a day early and lots of behind the scenes, and Walker's a media cranker right now. Follow us on all the things. Shout out to this beautiful human behind the camera for cranking out media. And I'm gonna get back to work. Bye, thank you.
bye.